drawing I just did yesterday. What I did is draw Bohemian Whisper ASMR. She's very talented, extremely talented. You should go check out her channel too. And she's really good at doing those ASMR videos there too. But that's not what it's really about. It's about finding. It's about the tutorial of the portrait, and but what's really about is on this portrait is to find the shape of a portrait. And what you do here is to, if you have a reference, give it a time to look at it and find the shapes of it. Over there, you might see some triangles on the nose, circle on the eyes, and a little oval part around her eye. And also there's a big oval part in her mouth, and possibly a little bit of a V shape underneath the chin. And also there's a square rectangle part on top of her forehead, the top of her forehead. And also you might find a little bit of rectangle in a different angle of perspective. And now, on this video, I'm going to show you the shapes I just found on each portrait. Okay, let's get on with the teaching here. And as you see here, there's one side is a portrait I drew, and the other side is a plain piece of paper, or we're going to show the basic of the shapes I just found. And I'm going to use a piece of paper to draw out the shapes what I found in this portrait. A few may be obvious, but most are very difficult to find. Oh, please forgive me, it's just furnace here. But it brings out a white noise in this video, so I hope it makes you feel comfortable. Okay. Now, as I was saying, you might find there are some shapes you may be able to find in this portrait, but as I say, most of them are not obvious. But you got to give it time to survey as much as in quality time as much as possible. So all you gotta do is to survey long enough, study it, and learn for what it provides for you. That is what the wisest drawing artists, had taught me about it. And now, let's get on with the business here. And let's get over the eyes. And you see there a pupil of a portrait of Bohemian's eyes. Inside of it are a basic circle shape. So let's draw it out from each here. Each eye. And the eye, a side of it, is more of an oval. So, or more a little bit of a diamond. Then you see her eyes are like this here, but in the angle way is more of a an angle is a little more of a diamond, but as you see here, it's quite difficult to give out the to figure out the shape of an angle because the angle can be different. Angle can be either on the one side of the face or other side, or a diagonal, a down, up side. Anything, any type of angle you got to draw out to. And in order to figure that out is to find the shapes here. So let's get back to one with the eyes here. You see the left eye has a diamond part, so I draw out the diamond, or draw a diamond in horizontal way. I'm sorry for this imperfectionist here. And on the left side, right side of her eye, is more or less more or less of a diamond. Forgive me. Her right side of her eye is more of a different from the eye, so it's not more. It's less of a diamond. The right side of her eye is more or less of a diamond than the left side. So, to find that out is to appreciate survey here. So, is to cut them in half in an invisible line and look at the side of her face and get over the easiest part. So this is more of a triangle, more like a right angle triangle. And then left side, right side of her right eye is more of a more of a more of a round part than the other side. So let's get on. Let's give out the shape that I never recognized. This here. Sorry for this imperfections here. I try to I just get on with the basic shapes here. A list of basic shapes that makes it easy for me and it easy for the name. And I just have to give out the shape for the right side of the eye that I never recognized, so I had to make that up here. Otherwise, there could be a name for this type of shape here, but this is not a basic shape. This is more of a geometry shape. Now, let's now also work on the eyebrows here. The eyebrow is more of a thin rectangle. Thin rectangle. And the last part of it is more of a little bit of right angle. Thin right angle. Very thin. And as for the right side of her right side, this is more of a parallel parallelogram. Yeah, please forgive me. Is parallelogram. It's reading it that name is very it's very harder to tell here. Let's just try to make this as great as possible, but I gotta make this quick here and just to draw out the shape and a name for it too. So this is a parallelogram. So the right side of her eyebrow has a rectangle. The other one, a rectangle and a right angle. The other one is more of a parallelogram. So let's cross down with the nose. And as you see with the nose, bottom part of the nose, this one has more of a trapezoid. But not more, less of a trapezoid, but it was more of a trapezoid. You see here the long part of her nose has a long curvy line and a short curvy line on the top. So let's just make it as a trapezoid here on diagonal or horizontal part. Okay, and this is on the top base part of her nose has a rectangle or more of a type of shape I never recognized. So I gotta draw that out. And there we go. Here's a shape Here's a shape I never recognized here. Now let's cross down with the mouth. As his mouth has more of an oval part, so I'll use this shape to draw a portrait. So let's draw out the oval part here. I'm gonna draw it on top of it so you guys can see. Okay, here's the oval part. Here's the shape of an oval. And part of that, and part of that oval, when you get done with that, you draw a line here, which is a mouth, and put a V on top. And the bottom part of the mouth has less of a V, so let's make it a little not a very sharp V, and put a mouth here, base here, and another base here. It's very and that's how you draw the mouth. Hold on. Here we go, back in business. I'm very sorry I had to cut this and make a very darker shape of these shapes here I just found. So let's get on with it, okay? And you see now about the face here. The face is very easy. And this is why you usually take over the easy part first. And pardon me. Now, before you're making faces come to life, you gotta draw the head first. But first, as I say, you gotta survey for the shapes in order to give out the life. You draw a portrait. And now, let's turn this page around. And there's her face. And there's her shape. Here's her head. Excuse me. So, and when we survey the head, you look for the shape of her head. Shape of her head, you see here, this has some more V here. Doesn't give out the V, make a bigger V. Okay, bigger V. There we go. There's a bigger V. And then below that is a very, very small V. So let's make that a very small V. And this part of her face where the nose is at, the base of her nose, it has a rectangle. So let's draw it out the rectangle here. This is what I found here. And on top it is another another rectangle, but very thin. Let's draw that out here. There we go. And then when you're adding the details of it, you draw out the lines that it follows along with the face to give it a better shape and add new details until you match the reference. There we go. And as for the hair, it's very difficult to draw it out, in the base of the shapes. But unfortunately, this is all I have to tell you about the basic shapes of how to draw a face. So there we have it, the basic shapes of a portrait. There are shapes in there, but you gotta spend a time surveying it. And those are the basic face shapes that I just showed you on the portrait that I just draw out of it. You may not find as easy as it should be, but they're in there. But as I say, you gotta spend the time to survey and study it, what any picture provides to you, either a portrait or a cartoon or any types of things you want to draw out on this reference. So, unfortunately, gotta go. Thank you guys for watching. And if you are interested in my videos, please press to subscribe, press your like, and comment underneath the video that